Alex Barlow with us. Coach, if you can give us your opening thoughts, and we'll open up for questions.
First thought was that was a very good college basketball game, played by two pretty good teams. The struggle from the very jump went back and forth from the beginning of the game all the way to the end of the game. And I look at our team and I look at the third game in 4 days. We have guys play 32, 38, 38, 44, 42 and gave every ounce of energy and effort that they had tonight. I thought it was a really gutsy performance by the guys that were on the floor. I was proud of the way they performed. I was proud of our basketball team tonight. However, were there things that we could have done better? Absolutely. We played a little bit smarter, yes. And in a game like that, those things are highlighted. But I do think in close games, there are a lot of things that can happen if you allow the game to be as close as it is, and give a lot of credit to LSU, the way they executed down the stretch, the plays that they made. They played well, and at the end of the day, they beat us.
Brandon, what was the thinking behind the decision to not foul with 10.2 seconds left, leading by 3?
We talked about fouling or not fouling, and we have a time in which we would foul, and there's a time in which we wouldn't. And we came to the conclusion that we were not going to foul. We were going to play our defense. If you foul too early in the game, then they can foul you, and now you're into a free throw war. So we decided not to foul with 10.2 seconds left.
What would it take for you to foul? You said there was a decision. What would lend itself to foul?
Yeah, there's a lot of situations in the time and score, who you're playing, how good of a rebounding team they are, who you have in the game, and are able to play at the end of the game. There's a lot of different scenarios, and we know those scenarios, and that scenario didn't fit the mold of us fouling.
Coach, Anthony Hickey didn't have any points up until that last shot of 10 seconds. Was there any conversation in the huddle about if he gets the ball, maybe we don't cover him as tight, or if there was something like that?
No. Hickey, he took 12 threes yesterday. He's shooting the basketball very well for the year. We played him from the very start of the game to the end of the game like a shooter. They executed the play. He stepped up, got a pretty clean look. He stepped up and made it in crunch time, and it just happened to be the only one that he made all night.
Coach, a 24-point difference between the benches. You guys talking about what a difference that was.
Yeah, they had 24 more points off the bench than we did. Yeah, I thought the guys who came off the bench for us played well. Our bench was shortened a little bit tonight, so their bench guys, came out, played a good game, and again, I thought Jackson, Nolan, and Andrew during their minutes gave us all they had and played well in the game. Maybe not as productive, and maybe their stats didn't show up on the stat sheet, or what they didn't show up on the stat sheet, but they played within our game plan. I thought we executed our game plan from the start to the finish. Our guys played smart for the most part, but our bench was good with the guys that got in.
Brandon, what's the status of Elijah? Did he tweak his back or something?
Elijah, Devontae, and Renee did not get in the game today. That was my decision, and those guys understand why they didn't get in the game. And our players know, our coaches know, and it was my decision.
Elijah's 100% healthy?
He's 100% healthy. He's 100% healthy. And in saying that, all those guys will be at practice when we start practice on Tuesday. All those guys will be expected to play in our next game.
Coach, that last three that Eric took before the game ends, was that play drawn up for him, or was that in the secondary there?
It was within our offense. It was within our offense, and I thought he got a pretty good, clean look at it. Eric had made a couple threes early on in the game. He had a clean look. It didn't go in, hit the front iron. But no, it wasn't a set play, but it was within our offense in the flow of the game.
Is there anything that you learned about Kellen Dunham that you didn't know before this week?
I think that I've always known Kellen is gritty. Kellen's a tough competitor. I do think his play over the last 3 games and the level of competition that he played against, his ability to play 3 games in 4 days and the minutes that he played was a gritty effort on his part. Showed his toughness, showed his ability to play in big games and produce and play well. But is there anything that I didn't know before going in? Obviously, I have all the confidence in the world of Kellen. Kellen's made a terrific jump between his freshman and sophomore year, and he continues to show night in, night out that he's a heck of a basketball player.
Coach, what was the mood in the locker room like after the game? Second straight 2-point loss.
It's not fun to lose. Guys took it pretty hard. It just shows how close we are to beating good teams like LSU and Oklahoma State. There's things obviously we can do better that might have changed the outcome of the game, but the mood was pretty down. But we know we'll be back to work on Tuesday to fix those things and hopefully win the next game on Saturday.
Coach, during the second half, they called a 10-second violation on you. What was the explanation you got from the officials on that?
Alex got the rebound, and there was a certain amount of time on the clock once he got the rebound to when the ball was knocked out of bounds. I think the shot clock said 34 as we inbounded the ball. And when we inbounded the ball, we passed the ball across half court at 24. And the explanation is the rule states that you have to have possession of the ball in the front court before the 10 seconds have passed. And they said that we did not have the ball across at 10 seconds.
Alex, the first games that you guys have played this week, how would that help you guys in conference tournaments and even going forward?
I definitely think playing close games like that, especially against good teams, will help you going forward. Some teams win a lot of games by 30, and then they get in close games, and it's a different feeling. Haven't played so many close games. The next close game we're in, we've been through the adversity that comes with playing in a close game.
Alex, you were able to get double-digit rebounds today. Was that something by design with you getting in under the hoop and grabbing the boards, or is that just something the ball just came to you today?
LSU's, I think they were 7th in the country in offensive rebounding. And we really want to try to get their 3 bigs off the glass. And our bigs did a great job of keeping them off, and allowed me to get a free run to try to get the rebounds. I knew before the game I was going to need to get 5-6 rebounds at least. Getting 10 was good, but I wouldn't have been able to get those without our bigs blocking out.
Brandon, do you feel like you let a couple slip away this week? A couple plays here and there?
I think if you look at our season as a whole, we've been in a lot of close games. And our ability to win close games early on in the season showed that we can do that. Showed that we have guys down the stretch that we can make the plays that we need to make. The last 2 didn't fall our way. And I think when you play in close games, there are a lot of things that can happen at the end of the game. Sometimes the other team executes, they make shots. And I thought the last 2 games, there were some things that we could control that didn't happen our way. And I think there are some things that we can't control that didn't happen our way. And we weren't able to win those the last 2 games. I do think as we move forward, being in close games like we've been in will help us. Now, in saying that, they help you if you can learn from them. If you can learn from your mistakes, you learn from your experiences, and we continue to get better. I told our team after the game, I thought we've really improved since the summer in Australia when we started practicing to the time we started our first game. I think we've really improved from the time that we played our first game until right now. The goal and the focus for us right now is to continue to improve. There will be some teams that will have a little bit of a stalemate and they'll stay the same. Our goal is not to stay the same. Our goal from this tournament and our experiences in these close games is to get better, to learn from these 3 games and continue to get better, and we'll like where we're at if we can do that.
Anything else for Coach or Alex? Thank you guys.
Thanks, guys.